You ever sit across from someone you've known for decades, your spouse, an old friend, and suddenly realize you're both just narrating the weather forecast? Rain again tomorrow. Yep, knees are aching already. I've been there. Last year, my best friend Marge and I spent an entire lunch debating dishwasher brands. Dishwasher brands. By dessert, I was ready to adopt the waitress just to hear something new. But here's the good news. Stale conversations aren't a sign you've run out of things to say. They're just a cue to dig deeper. Today, I'm sharing 7 questions to help you uncover stories you never knew were hiding in plain sight. Let's start with the one that resurrected my bridge club. Question 1. What's a memory that always makes you smile, even on rainy days? Last winter, my bridge club was down to discussing fiber supplements. Desperate, I slapped this photo down and asked, "Remember this disaster?" Turns out, Evelyn's famous potato salad gave us all food poisoning. Betty admitted she'd secretly hated bridge for 20 years. We laughed till we cried. This question works because it's specific but safe. It's not, "Tell me about your childhood trauma." It's, "Give me a glimpse of your joy." Try it with your grandkids. You'll hear about TikTok dances, and then, maybe, the friend who moved away. Question 2. If you could time travel to one day in your life, which would you revisit and why? My neighbor Frank, a man of few words, shocked me with this one. May 12, 1967, he said. Asterisk, the day I chickened out of asking Maria to prom. I tell my younger self, "You idiot, she liked you too." We don't ask this to dwell on regrets. We ask to uncover hidden layers. That quiet cousin who never married? She might take you to Paris in 1972. The grandkid obsessed with video games? Might confess, he wishes he'd joined the soccer team. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if they shut me down? Oh, they might. My brother grumbled. Time travel's for sci-fi nerds. But later, he texted me a photo of his first car, a rusty Ford he's never mentioned in 60 years. June 1983. Top down, radio up, and not a single responsibility except the open road. Sometimes the silence after the question is just them rewinding the tape. Question 3. What's one thing you've never told anyone but wish you had? Now, don't lead with this at the DMV, but with someone you trust. It's gold. Last month, over pie, I asked my daughter this. She froze, then whispered, "I still have Mom's last voicemail." I play it when the kids are at school. We think we know our people, but we've all got secret compartments. This question isn't a pry bar, it's an invitation. I'm here. I can hold this. Of course, not every question unearths treasure. My gardening club pal Gladys once deadpanned, "I've never told anyone I hate tulips." There. Happy. But even that sparked a debate about overrated flowers that lasted for weeks. You know, after we last chatted, my gardening club declared war on tulips. Gladys even spray-painted hers neon green. Take that, boring blooms. Turns out, stale conversations are like dandelions. They seem pesky, until you realize they're packed with wishes waiting to fly. Let's dig into 3 more questions to help yours take off. Question 4. What's the most rebellious thing you've ever done, or wish you had? Found this in my attic last month, a note I wrote to my high school crush but never sent. Turns out, my bridge club's proper, Margaret, once dyed her poodle pink and snuck into a rock concert. Margaret, this question isn't just about rebellion. It's about vulnerability. Ask your spouse. Ever cheat on a diet? Your stoic brother. What's the one rule you're glad you broke? Suddenly, you're not talking about calories or curfews, you're talking about longing. Question 5. If you could pass down one recipe to future generations, what would it be, and what's the story behind it? This. My grandma's Depression-era mud pie. No cocoa, no cream, just crushed crackers and honey. She'd say, "Sweetness isn't in the ingredients. It's in the hands that make it." Food is memory's favorite currency. Ask this at your next family dinner. Your niece might share her avocado toast obsession, then admit it reminds her of the dad who loved guacamole. Boom. Connection. Question 6. What's something you always wanted to try, but never did? 2 years ago, I asked my mailman Ray this question. Ballroom dancing, he mumbled. Turns out, his late wife loved Dancing with the Stars. So guess what we did? YouTube tutorials. My living room. Ray in his postal uniform, me in these old heels. We stepped on toes, cracked up, and cried a little. Now he teaches a class at the senior center. This question isn't about regrets. It's about unfinished dreams, and who might help you finish them. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if they say skydiving and I have to jump? Honey, my knees haven't seen a parachute since 1982. But you'd be surprised how often the answer is simpler. I always wanted to paint the sunrise, but I'm no artist. My reply: grab a coffee can lid and some finger paints. Let's make a mess. You know, after Ray and I finished our first wobbly waltz, he handed me this photo, him and his wife at their 40th anniversary mid-twirl. She'd have loved this, he said. And just like that, our silly dance became a tribute. That's the magic of these questions. They're not just conversation starters, they're bridges. To wrap up, let's explore the final question, the one that turns echoes of the past into legacies for the future. Question 7. What's the one lesson you hope echoes long after you're gone? I asked my granddaughter this last week. She shrugged. Dunno, Graham. Be kind. But later, she texted. Actually, I hope people remember I wasn't afraid to apologize. Turns out, she'd been carrying guilt about a friend she ghosted. This question isn't about mortality. It's about meaning. Ask your poker buddy, what wisdom do you wish you'd gotten at 20? Your sister, what should the kids keep when we're gone? Suddenly, you're not just talking, you're weaving a safety net of stories for generations. Weaving it all together. Think of these 7 questions as seeds. Plant one at a time. Water them with patience. Some will bloom fast, like Margaret's pink poodle confession. Others, like Ray's dancing, might take seasons. But each one roots you deeper into the hearts of those you love. A letter from Lou, proof it's never too late. Ethel, asked my son your lesson question. He said, I hope I'm remembered like Mom for laughing through the hard stuff. We hadn't talked about her in years. Thank you for giving us back her laugh. We think we're just killing time on porches, sipping tea. But really, we're time travelers, archivists, guardians of the moments that make life life. Your turn, no perfections required. So here's your mission. Try one question this week. At the grocery store. Over meatloaf. In a text to the grandkid who's always too busy. And if it flops, perfect. Flops make the best stories. Closing call to action. Drop a comment and tell me which question sparked a surprise. Whose story made you see them anew? Let's build a tapestry of I never knew moments right here. Hit subscribe, because next week we're talking about turning those stories into legacy letters. And remember, the most beautiful conversations aren't spoken. They're uncovered,